Acaba quer dizer. Oh. Hey, akara masala te. Ha karabata.
Okay.
E que era você que fala você que não é? É que eu sou uma guitarra. É que eu não vou guitarra.
I don't know, Twirly. I don't know.
I can't say. I can't do it. Say,
You feel good. You feel good.
How do I say whatever?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, eat it. Oh.
What am I say? Hey, chama que essa macaçarate. Shh. Acaba que say. Acaba que say. Acaba que say.
Yay! A score!
Yeah. Okay. La 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 la.
La 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 la. Sorry.
La 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 la. Ah, que você? Okay. La 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 la. La la la. La la la.
La la la. La la la.
Acaba que solo te. La 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 la. Oh, acaba que solo te.
Wow! Yeah!
Acaba que se bacata.
It's a rug.
Ah! La cámara se.
Yay! Very good, very good. Very good. Oh, very good. Are you done? Okay, you done?
She wants you to help her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, pick up her worms.
What is that all about?
That was the best performance ever on this show.
Yeah.
You're watching the Horror Kung Fu Theater. Do you have anything you want to say tonight, Shadow?
Parakatame!
Yeah!
Do you have anything nice you want to say tonight, Shadow?
¿Cómo así?
Oh, nice Shadow. Oh, really? Nice Shadow? Oh,
Yeah.
No.
okay, we'll be back in a second. Watch this scene right now, Horror Kung Fu Theater.
Hi everyone, I'm with Damion. He does comedy magic. So what do you got for us today?
All right. Well, a lot of people don't know that Jesus was a magician. Did you know, Jessica, that Jesus was a magician?
I know now.
That's right. He could turn water into wine. He could walk on water. But people don't realize that when he first started out, he was just a little Jewish kid doing bar mitzvahs. Did you know that?
Did not.
So I'm going to show you one of the first tricks that Jesus did back in the day when he was doing bar mitzvahs. The world famous linking rings. You guys ready to see this? Yeah! Ow! All right, let's try it. Here we go. Jesus doing the linking rings. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I think it's happened. Oh, God. Oh, yeah, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it's fake. I know. You were shocked, weren't you shocked? I could tell you were. All right, let's move along. Now, Jesus doing the linking rings is one thing, but how about this? This is even better. Did you know that marijuana is legal in the state of California, Jessica?
Yes, I do.
I bet she does.
Have you guys heard about that?
I'm a huge fan, actually.
Here's the thing that's really weird about medical marijuana. Have you ever just pulled out up in front of one of these establishments, and it's almost like you can get a contact eye just from the building? Have you ever noticed what I'm talking about?
It's true.
So, not that I do this sort of thing, but I do happen to have a medical marijuana card right here. And this is a really cool thing, Jessica, that I think you should do if you partake in such a thing. When you go to a medical marijuana establishment, when they ask for your card, just do this. Oh, they love it when you do that. Everybody's got the contact high. You got to love it. You want to try just like that? Oh, my God. Oh, there it is right there, just like that. Unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen.
That's pretty amazing.
All right, and then, this one I think you'll really like.
All right.
This is one of the most difficult pieces of magic that you'll ever see. It's a barehanded bird production. I'm going to produce a bird without a silk in my bare hand. Here we go. Watch closely. Here we go. Watch closely. I think it's coming in. Here it is. Oh, yeah, there it is. Ladies and gentlemen, unbelievable barehanded bird production. Unbelievable. Yes, indeed. So there you go.
Fantastic. Thank you so much.
I'll be here all week, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Want to give out?
Damion Tong on Facebook. You can find me there, or burlesqueballoons.com. You can find information about me there.
Oh, yeah, he does the nasty balloons.
Yeah.
Do you have any performances coming up we can go watch?
Actually, I do. I'll be in county jail in about a week.
Okay.
Yeah. Woo.
Perfect.
All right, so there you go,
thank you.
guys. Thank you. I appreciate it.
That was pretty awesome.
Thank you. I
You're really
appreciate
great.
I thought you did that.
Thank you.
Hello, all you white people, Caucasians and non-Caucasians. It's time for a ghetto story. All right, all right.
of Diamond Dave's Ninja School come on down. Don't be a pot licker. Watch the night shadow. I know I do. Tell him Diamond Dave sent you. The night shadow. Every night. Make it a habit.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Dino. I'm Lucy.
Yay!
Dino, you look like you slept in your clothes last night. This is the only suit I got. Sorry, I look so bad. I had initiation for my gang yesterday. You know, they beat you up for initiation. Look like you're in 20 gangs. That bad? So, Lucy, tell me, are you a German redhead or Irish redhead? I'm a mix. My mom was a woman. My father was a dad. Father was a man. That's not such a big mix. I thought you were going to say a red bear and a chihuahua. How much you had to drink today?
That plumber's got crazy eyes.
Heck if I know. I don't know how much I had to drink after lunch. I was at this big party last night. A celebrity party, you know?
Oh, my mommy paid for the cable.
Brad Pitt was there. They say you're not supposed to ever meet your heroes. But Brad Pitt took it well when he met me. Wow. I like food parties. What's a food party? A food party is when you only invite food. Food came from all over the world. Oh, that's not so good for your figure.
Or your head.
Oh, look at his eyebrows. Do your eyebrows again.
Yeah! Yeah, there you go!
You like my sexy eyebrows, huh?
Yeah!
Jessica.
Man, he must have a good taxidermist. He stuffed his kids.
Well, what's your sign anyway, Lucy? Herpes. Herpes. Well, what kind of person even believes in horoscopes? Single girls. Yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, eyebrows, yeah!
You know, I don't even date men anymore. Yeah? I gave up men for champagne. Champagne will sit quietly in your car while you're shopping all day. And you don't have to change your underwear on a champagne bottle.
Yeah!
That's an interesting way to look at it.
Eyebrows, yeah!
Watch those eyebrows, you're turning on Lucy.
Yeah!
Well, I gotta get to work. You hold a job? Well, yeah, I worked all day this morning. Doesn't that interfere with your drinking? Well, yeah. My boss told me this morning, you're a highly functioning alcoholic. And then I said, how did you know I was high?
Eyebrows!
You know when your main income is collecting beer cans from what you drank the day before, that's your real job. Whoa, yeah. That's where I make most of my income.
Yeah, you thought it. Crazy eyes.
Well, I gotta get back to work. My boss is mad I missed 3 days this week. Okay.
I missed more than
Adios. Adios.
Yeah! Beautiful!
That was the best actor that's ever on this show.
That was cool. Dude. And now for your enjoyment, you bunch of Morlocks out there watching. It is Crimson Slipnot. Did I say it right?
Flipfold.
Slipfold?
Slipfold.
Damn it! Crimson Slipfold. Is that right?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry. That took a long time. I don't know what's going on right here. But look who I have here as a guest. A television icon here, Mr. Butch Patrick. How you doing?
Where's my headpiece and my mask if this is Kung Fu Theater?
Oh, because...
budget cuts?
You know, you ever hear of low budget?
No budget.
We're no budget, yeah. That's what... I think I invented that saying like 22 years ago. But
not a problem. Thanks for having me.
No, this is my pleasure having such a icon like you. And for some of you people that live under a rock, or young people nowadays that don't know, he played Eddie Munster in the Munsters.
Ask your folks or your grandfolks or your grandparents. They'll love it.
Yeah.
Turn you on to Netflix or something and watch it.
Yeah, because my nieces and nephew, they're like, well, what's that?
Yeah, get the DVD on Amazon. Ask for Christmas. Maybe Santa will bring it.
Now let's get into it. Let's get into this history of Mr. Butch Patrick here. You have a Facebook and everything and all that. So why don't we'll get that out of the way. Then we'll go back to it later. So tell these people to.
Oh, Facebook, Twitter, Butch Patrick, BP Munster, Munsters.com is a website I've owned for about 15 years. A lot of Munster stuff there. If you want to find out what the show's about, if you've never seen the show, and if you have seen the show, there's a lot of good stuff there. Putting together a really nice book next year. This will be the 50th anniversary of the Munsters, 2014. So September 24th will be 50 years to the day, and we're going to have a book come out. It's going to be called Munster Memories. It's going to be a coffin table book, and it's going to have a bunch of good stuff in it. But it's all about the stories from the fans. I've met millions of fans over the years. I mean, literally millions. It's been a 50-year run. So think about it and do the math. It could actually be 1 million people.
Yeah, for sure.
And they all have wonderful stories about what the show meant to them and how it inspired them them as kids or this or that, and I decided to put a book together that features their stories. So it's literally writing itself.
That's very cool right there, because I was watching the Munsters when I was little Night Shadow, and I always wanted to be Eddie Munster, man. That lived in that kind of a family. Then again, the family I had was kind of weird too. So, but we'll just digress on that one. And you're into cars and stuff too, and ink and tats?
One of my favorite things to do when I would take a lunch break during the shooting of the show on Wednesdays, my mom would let me go down to the hobby store to get a piece of slot car track, and maybe a slot car occasionally, and then I would go to George Barris's shop to see what he was up to. If you don't know the Munsters, he built the Munster coach and the Dragula, but before he did that, he was customizing cars for all the talent in Hollywood, all the stars. You couldn't be cruising around Hollywood unless you had a George Barris custom vehicle. So I'd go down and see Sonny and Cher pick up their Mustangs, or Frank Sinatra or Elvis or whatever, and that's when I started my love affair with cars, was at George Barris's Custom City, which is still in North Hollywood. 60 years later, he just had his 88th birthday.
Wow.
So that's where my love affair for cars started, and I'd buy and sell cars and send them to Australia. And over the years, I've seen so many people come up to me with tattoos of me, Eddie Munster, on their various body parts, or mostly arms and legs, thank God. But a friend of mine came to me who is a tattoo artist, and he also manufactures ink. And Chris 51 from Area 51 Tattoo asked if I would like to have a couple Munster colors. So now, next year, I'm going to be doing tattoo conventions, and we're going to have a contest of the best Eddie Munster tattoo in the country after we do 50 stops around the country at 50 different studios. So anyway, if you're into color, you're into ink, check out Formula 51 or go to my website. It's listed there at munsters.com.
I know you get a lot of friends and of the Munsters not calling you, but emailing you and stuff like that. Does that get kind of tiring, like, hey man?
No, it's actually, for some reason, I have the temperament where when you go out and do autograph shows and you meet people, you better be able to answer the same question over and over and over, because the people are asking it for the first time. So you have to be courteous and nice to them. And as long as people come up and are sincere and they love the show and they want to ask a question of where's Woof Woof, or did the cars really run, or how tall was Herman? You got to understand this is the first time that they met you, so you should be gracious and nice and answer the question, and that's what I do. And if it does get to be too much, well, then you get up and you take a break, and when you come back to the table, you're in a better mood.
Well, that's a good attitude to have.
It's simple.
Not like some of you prima donnas out there I've ran into, not mentioning no names.
That's right. I run into. I mean, it can happen, and it's not fair to the fans. It's not fair to yourself. So just try to stay in a good mood.
Honestly, too, if you're in love with somebody, or because of their work or whatever, their TV show or whatever, and you go up there and you're all happy and everything, and the person ends up being a prick, man. It's like, dang, what the heck happened there?
And unfortunately, it's part of the situation. But I've had a couple of very nice compliments. People who are new to the circuit, so to speak, and they've observed me and my table, and I bring out a lot of nut stuff. I have my 8x10s, but I try to bring out. I have like front door keys that are made to look like a tombstone and 1313 on them, and I have ink, and I have T-shirts, and I have DVDs, and I have just a lot of whatever I can find that's interesting stuff. So my table usually looks a little bit more fan friendly than a typical table. And a lot of people have said to me that I really would like to try to copy your lead, because you seem to really have a good time with people and you're good to people. And it's kind of like I just treat people like I would like to be treated myself. It's a pretty simple situation.
Now, you were with Ivana Cadaver for a while, right?
Ivana Cadaver.
You guys were on KDOC.
I've known Ivana Cadaver a long time. It's a great show, wonderful talent.
Great body.
Great body. Yep, great body. Great body. Hey, Nat.
Hey, Nat.
Hey, Nat. But anyway, we did a show together. We started off first it was called 1313 Theater, and then it evolved into Macabre Theater. And then her character, Ivana Cadaver, went to the forefront. Originally, she was going to be my sidekick, and then I kind of backed out of it, and she took over, and she really was good at it. So I decided that this would be the best thing for the show, would be for her to be the host. And so we're going to, and she's still working it very hard. And I think she has like 48 shows in the can. So I think in 2014, you'll see a new and improved, not that it had to be improved, but a new version and an updated version. And I think she's going to call it Goat Sucker Productions or something, for like the vampire bat thing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah. So anyway, If you haven't seen it, you can YouTube Ivana Cadaver Macabre Theater, and I'm on a few of the episodes myself. But the star of the show is Ivana.
Now, you know, doing that show when you were a kid, was that a happy times, or was it here and there, or?
Well, you know, I was the only kid on the lot, so I was 11 and 12 and a little bit of 13. So what little boys would like to do and young boys would like to do is they like to explore. I mean, that's what I did whether I was working or not. But imagine if you had the whole run of the Universal back lot at your disposal. And that's what I used to really look forward to, were my days when I wasn't working and I could go exploring. The Phantom of the Opera set, the soundstage, the largest soundstage in Hollywood, was right next to us. My uncle used to supply horses to Wagon Train in the Virginian, so I'd go visit Uncle John. The McHale's Navy Lagoon was in the back. I'd go visit Ernie Borgnine and Tim Conway and just kind of wander around the studio and see what they were building in sound stages, because what they would do is once they'd finish the movie, they would clean out a sound stage, and the next time they would use it, it would be a new product. So you'd go in there and say, what's this going to be and what are you building? And it was always something very cool.
Did you go to a private school or homeschool or a regular school?
It's kind of a homeschool. They supply you with a tutor. Yeah. 3 hours a day. And then when the show is over, you go back to public school, and then when you work again, it's a tutor. So it's kind of a back and forth situation.
How was that in public school? Did they kids, you know?
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
Was it?
Yeah.
They didn't treat you like
you know, kids are kids, you know.
You know, you're right.
That's one of the ways I got thick skin. I just figured if the roles were reversed, I would probably be on the other side, you know, taunting myself or taunting the person. Yeah. But it gave me thick skin, and it taught me how to be a survivor. And I was very small for my age, and when I went back into the junior high system, I was in the 7th grade. And after the first day, they threw me out because I was causing a disturbance, because all the kids weren't going to class, and they were all hanging around the nutrition bench and, you know, looking at Eddie Munster eat his, you know, honey bun and whatever. And then
they kicked you out because of that?
Huh?
They kicked you out because of
that?
that?
Yeah, the vice president came and got me. The vice principal came and got me and threw me out and said, he's causing too much of a disturbance. We can't have him. And I went back the next day, and then they threw me out again. And then the next day, the third day, they let me stay. And but the bottom line was, I got very smart. I befriended a couple 9th graders real quick, and then I had my little, you know, my protectors. And then, but you know, it was tough. It was a tough first year, because you know, the kids will be they can be cruel, but at the same time, it gave me thick skin and kind of made me who I am today, which is a very tolerant person.
Yeah, you cruel little kids out there. It's Christmas
bullying.
Time. Hey, Santa ain't gonna give you nothing for Santa Claus ain't gonna give you.
You're
nothing
gonna get
for
coal.
Christmas. Not even coal, unless he throws it at you, you little miscreants. Dang. And that vice president guy, you bastard. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. He's probably dead though, huh?
Yeah.
Well, his son or daughter, you should be ashamed of yourself having a dad like that. Now, do you have tattoos?
I only have one. It's my back shoulder blade, and it's a comedy and tragedy thing, and it's got my sobriety date in it. So it's just not ink to be inked. It was actually a significant symbolic gesture. And I did it for a friend of mine, Tattoo Tony, who does all Bret Michaels tattoos. He was doing a TV show pilot, and he wanted me to be on it. So I said, okay, I'll get a tattoo for you. And then now next year, I'm having Kat Von D do an Eddie Munster on my other shoulder blade.
Kat Von D.
Kat Von D, she's a hottie.
Yes, she is.
And have her do one to introduce the ink. So it's kind of an interesting thing. I mean, I like the artwork today for tattoos. It's way past what it used to be 50 years ago with an anchor and a mom and a dripping dagger or something. It's become very much an art form. And these guys are very talented. So if you're looking for some good ink and you've got some color going on, or even if you have a tattoo studio, go to my website, contact me, Munsters.com, and maybe we can do a promotion for you.
So let me get this right, though, because I'm kind of slow from chair shots and the wrestling world and everything. Is it you guys develop different colors?
Yeah, there's 52 colors of Formula 51. There's 2 Munster colors, there's a green and a purple, but there's actually 52 colors, one for every week of the year, I suppose. But anyway, there's a bunch of colors, and it's really vibrant, and it's high pigmentation. It's got a high pigment count, so the tattoo artists love it because it's a really good ink, and it's got witch hazel in it as an ingredient, which makes it bright.
Wow!
So the people that use it like it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever talked to people like saying that they have a tattoo of you on them?
Yes.
They come up to you?
I have a lot of them.
A lot of people?
Yeah, a lot of people. A lot of people have got the Munsters, not so much myself, but the whole family. In fact, I'll tell you one of the funniest stories that ever came up. This guy came up, and he had a really beautiful Eddie Munster right here, and he's showing me, and my only response to him was just, tell me you're left-handed. Please.
You know, we have a guy on the show. I just now thought about him. He probably met you. he comes on the show. We call him the human horror tapestry.
Yeah.
His name is Daniel Gonzalez, and he has tattoos everywhere. Now I'm thinking about it, I think he has one of you on there.
It wouldn't surprise me, and it's the Universal Monsters. You know, the show was developed from the Universal Monsters, so whether it's Frankenstein, Elvira, the creature, Wolfman, vampire, Dracula, the Munsters were basically those monsters, just friendly ones. So you can use the Universal Monsters, the old school monsters, or the Munsters themselves, but a lot of people have those shows.
You know, I heard who this character was, Grandpa.
Yep.
And I've heard all kinds of stuff. At one time, I even met him long time ago when they had what was that? I think it was Famous Monsters convention over here by Universal. One of the hotels by there. I think it was
probably Beverly Garland.
Something.
Beverly Garland Hotel by Universal, yeah.
Oh, he was a character, man. He was yelling at somebody. He had a cigar, and he was like,
I was actually at that con. He got out of control that day. He was really over the top on these people, and it wasn't very nice. It really wasn't.
That must have walked right in when I seen him because he was going off.
He was really having not a meltdown, but it was close to it. But he was for some reason he was very mean that day. He was very mean spirited, and a lot of times he's funny. But that particular day he was mean. And I did a lot of apologizing to a lot of people that day. For his antics.
But normally he wasn't like that.
Normally you remember him. I mean, you remember him whether you love him or whether you hate him. You remember him. Usually you love him, but this particular day, it was a lot of complaints about that day.
Yeah, he was telling somebody off. He didn't, and I kind of was like agreeing with him, but then he kept on. And I was like, oh, okay, well.
Yeah.
So I turned around and walked away because I was scared.
I know. I remember. It was at the Beverly Garland Hotel. I remember it.
I was scared, so I didn't want to have. I was probably in my prime that day. Not so many burritos and everything. I was buffed and everything, but I don't want no part of Grandpa, man. I was scared of him.
By the way, Grandpa's like 6'3". He's a big guy.
Is he?
Oh yeah, everybody thought he was little because he was standing next to Herman, who was 7 foot tall with his shoes on. But Al's actually was a big man. Yeah, he was a good sized gentleman.
Wow, I thought because when I seen him, he didn't look. Then again, I wasn't
don't let that one particular day be represented. That was one day in a man's life, 84 years, and it was just happened to be a bad day. I think he just probably had a mild little meltdown of some sort.
In fact, I think I liked him more.
Okay. Just because he could do it.
He was going off, man. He was like telling me, "You ain't gonna. Hey, I didn't like the way you were looking at me, man. So you're gonna hear something right now."
Yeah.
Is there any episodes that were your favorite one of the Munsters that you really?
I have several. Basically 3, because there's 70 episodes, and they had written me. A lot of times, originally, when you do a series, the kid, by nature, a lot of times they have minimal parts for kids. You kind of walk into a scene, you say a line or two, and then you kind of meander off. But for some reason, the rapport that we had with Fred Gwynn, who played Herman, and myself and Grandpa, they started writing a lot of good scripts for Eddie with a lot of dialogue and a lot of interaction with the adults. So like a regular character, like you're one of the big 3 type of thing. Mm-hmm. So the one that I really enjoyed the most was when I grew a beard, and not only was it funny to see a 10-year-old kid with a full beard, but it was also very funny that Paul Lynde played Dr. Dudley and how he handled the Herman Munster coming to see him and looking out the window and seeing me with the beard and a paper bag over my head. Very funny stuff. The other one I like a lot was Zombo, where I thought a TV host like yourself was a real guy. And I won a contest, and when I went to the studio, I saw that it wasn't real.
Yeah.
And I was very depressed, and that was Louis Nye, world-class comedic actor, played Zombo, and that's a good one. And then Hot Rod Herman, where we went to the drag strip, lost the Munster coach, Grandpa built the Dragula out of a coffin and some stuff, and then we went back and won it, and that was the introduction of the Dragula into the show. And I like that because I love cars, and we were at the drag strip, so that was pretty cool.
Speaking of Zombo, there's a character in Nevada who took that over. I don't know how he got permission.
Zombo?
Yeah.
No. There's actually a football player named Zombo too.
Is there?
Yeah. He's an end. I think he's a defensive end with the Kansas City Chiefs or something. But there's a guy named Zombo. I thought that was hilarious. Yeah. His last name.
I don't know how. Like I said, I don't know how he got, but he dresses like him.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think he's on coming on a channel over here in LA. I forgot what it is, but the way they describe the character is him. It's Zombo because he looks like Witchy Poo, little bit, And with the hair like a clown, maybe.
Witchy Poo?
Yeah, the nose.
Oh, the nose. Oh, yeah.
He looked-
I worked with Billy Hayes.
I know you did.
On Lidsville. She was my genie.
Lidsville was a good show.
It was the
man.
kookiest.
Yeah, but it was a cool show. Who's the people that you work with over there?
Charles Nelson Riley and Sid and Marty Croft and Billy Hayes, and then when you grow up in Hollywood, you have stand-ins are little people. They don't use other kids to stand in for other kids. So I got to know every little person, and we have a mutual friend of ours, Felix Silla. And,
good old Felix.
And lots of other people that I've known over the years that were my stand-ins went over to Paramount in '71 and were part of the Lidsville Little People Hat Colony that we had about 25 little people working. That was a summer to remember between Charles and Billy and myself and all these little hat people running around. It was a summer. It was a very crazy summer.
And was that cool working with them? And
oh yeah. Well, we did. It was the first show that ever used chroma key, and we also had 3 cameras going. We had a director on another soundstage, so you had the big booming voice from above, like like God was talking to you about this. Yeah. So it was kind of interesting. I'd never done that before, but it was very. It was a progressive production. We did like 18 pages a day.
Wow.
Which was a lot.
Witchy Poo, man.
Witchy Poo. Yeah. And Weenie Genie. I said, can't you change the name of this character from Weenie Genie? Is there any chance? Oh, Weenie, come forth.
Yeah.
And I look at the director on the monitor, I go.
It's different times.
Ah.
And is there any other shows that you worked on that you...
Well, it's Christmas time. One of my favorite things I did, the Beatles came on the set when I was on the Munsters, and I missed them that day, and I was so depressed. But to make up for it, I did the Monkees Christmas show. And I was 14 years old in the 8th grade, and I thought this was like about the coolest thing that could happen because the Monkees were huge. It was a TV show. I was the guest, the main guest on it, and I played Melvin Vandersnoot, and the Monkees were there to teach me the meaning of Christmas, and they had a really tough time of it, but what a great week it was for a kid to be working with the Monkees in 1968.
I would imagine, yeah. Now, I think this might be an urban legend, I don't know, or myth or something, but didn't one of those guys' family invent whiteout or something?
His mom did. Michael Nesmith's mom.
So that's true then?
Yeah. Michael Nesmith's mom invented liquid paper. Is what it was,
so
or whiteout, one of the two. Liquid. I think it's liquid paper.
Yeah.
But the bottom line is, he did. And Mike left after the show was over. Mike went on to do great things with a production company called Elephant Parts. Very, very cutting edge stuff. Very progressive. And then recently he's toured since Davey passed away. He's now been touring with the Monkees, and I'm going to be seeing him next in March at a Monkees convention. I do a lot of Monkees conventions because I was on the show.
Wow.
Did a guest role. That was fun.
That was really cool.
Yeah.
That guy don't got to work at all no more.
Yeah.
Wonder what's that like?
Well, what?
Will not have to work. You don't have to work anywhere. You can just stay home.
Well, the conventions?
No, I mean him.
Him. Yeah, he inherited quite a bit of money, but he doubled it. Whatever she gave him, he doubled it on his own. So I mean, he was a good businessman.
Yeah, well, that's smart, man. Gee, hey, if you want to come on the show and pay me, then
we get some paper. Fix it.
Give me some paper, and I don't mean no liquid paper. I mean the green kind. No, I'm just kidding. So you want to tell your Facebook again, so everybody.
Yeah, sure. Butch Patrick Facebook. If that one's filled up, then I have Butch Patrick 2 TOO. I got 5,000 on each one of those, and then there's the Butch Patrick fan group, which is unlimited in the amount of people, so you can go to that one as well, and then Twitter accounts, and I'm pretty easy to find. But Munsters.com is always a good place to go and leave your story if you like the Munsters and you want to be in the book. MunstersMemories.com, and even if I'm going to have 169 actual stories, 13 stories of 13 chapters, and if you're not picked, everybody's going to get acknowledgement in the back of the book for submitting. So even if you're not in it, your name's going to be in print in the book.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going to keep it limited edition to 2,500 books. It's not going to be a huge mass, money-making thing. It's going to be really for the fans.
Man, that might be with just the names of the people that submissions. That might be a book in itself, man.
We'll see.
Wow, I didn't know that you could still turn it in.
Yeah, that's good.
I think I'll write something.
Yeah, I got 750 right now, and I'm probably going to wind up with another 1,000 or so by the time the thing goes to print.
I'm not trying to talk about gossip and stuff like that, but did you ever meet somebody or work with somebody that you really, and you don't even have to say the name, but disliked, they were really just...
Oh, sure. That's got to, but that's like it. That's the movie industry. The movie industry is just a microcosm of the real world. I mean, you're going to run into people, walk down the street, there's going to be idiots, there's going to be people you dislike, and it's just the nature of the beast. Unfortunately, what happens in Hollywood and people, their egos come into play when a lot of people become famous or semi-famous, and usually the more famous you are, the nicer you are. It's the people that aren't famous that want to be famous are the ones that you usually have trouble with. But I mean, that's always not the truth, but generally. But yeah, you run into people that you would, you would probably not invite to your party. But I always hung out with. See, my trick was I was lucky. I was around really nice people, the cast members, but I always hung out with the crew. That was the guys that did up in the catwalks, the guys that did the special effects, the guys that did the makeup, and we had the best makeup people, we had the best special effects people, and then we had George Barris down at his shop, the guys that were building the cars. So I hung around with the people that weren't in front of the camera.
Wow.
That was my little escape. And I lived 30 miles away from Hollywood, so I would drive to work, I'd leave it behind me, go behind the studio gates, do my job. And I was just doing it to make money because I wanted to be a race car driver, which never really happened. But I never really wanted to be an actor. I was just a kid that could, hit my marks and remember lines.
No, that's not an easy thing to do, though.
I probably couldn't do it as well today. I was good at it as a kid.
Was there ever talk about having the Munsters meet the Addams family, or
no?
No,
never came up. No. Although I did do it. There was a show called the Addams Family Funhouse that was filmed in 1972, and I played Pugsley on the show.
Did you? Would you like put a pillow right there?
It was fun. The cast. It was an interesting cast. They had Mr. Carlin, Jack Riley was Gomez, Liz Torres was Morticia, Pat McCormick, the stand-up comic, was Lurch, Stubby K was Uncle Fester. I mean, talk about it. And Jim Neighbors was our special guest of the week.
What?
Oh, it was awful.
Did he see an opera on there?
It was awful. No, but it was pretty bad.
All right, well, Mr. Pat, I really do appreciate you coming on the show, and
and I found this in the lobby, and this has gotten my attention. The Secret of the Woman by Carlos Caliente. This could be what I've been looking for. The Secret of the Woman. Where is Carlos Caliente when you need him? Look at this. I love it. You just appear.
Well, thank you.
Okay, you know a title is very important, right?
Yes, Neil.
Okay, so this title caught my attention. I took off my sunglasses. It's so critical. The Secret of the Woman.
That's exactly.
I want to learn, Carlos.
Every man needs to know, and every woman wants a man to know.
They do. Now, I know you came to do something else, but can I beg you to talk about this instead?
I will be glad to.
Okay, The Secret of the Woman by Carlos Caliente.
You see, the problem with men and women for thousands of years, all men had known about woman is right inside this book.
Woo-hoo.
As you can see, men have a problem understanding women because they know nothing about women. What they do, but the real problem is not they understand them, is that it's when they see them, they, instead of getting to know the woman, what they do is they just see her outer image, like empty drawings in a coloring book. You see, they don't see the inner woman. So what the man has to do is, instead of trying to understand the woman, is to understand himself. Because when a man understands himself, he has confidence, he has strength, and then he'll be like Carlos. You see, when you have confidence and strength, a woman recognizes this in you, and then the woman, she will be glad to share with you all of her charms. So just know yourself, and the woman will find you. And that is the secret.
The Secret of the Woman.
It's not such a bad, tough secret at all, is it?
It's not when you explain it simply.
Exactly.
So you put this book together.
Yes, I did.
And you're going to help a lot of people with this book.
It has already.
And because they're going to understand that women are not coloring books. That you get at a restaurant with 3 crayons. Yeah. Now, I know you traveled far to get here, Carlos.
Yes, I did.
Can I get you to do something else?
Ah.
Do you have anything you want to say to Night Shadow, or maybe tell the viewers about your experience with Night Shadow over the years?
Well,
just lie and say it's good.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Felix, the Dancing Magician. I'm a dancer and a close-up magician, and I sometimes incorporate my magic into dancing.
Once upon a time, a DJ's task was just to play records. What more could you ask? But then came remixes, scratching and cuts, which was too much for many. Drove some DJs nuts, but the DJ named Glove has reigned supreme as the turntable wizard of the hip-hop scene. So listen to him, check him out, but remember this, when the glove's on the wheels of steel.
You like my sexy eyebrows, huh?
Jessica.
Okay, hang on.